Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're taking a really fascinating biological journey deep into the human body. We're going to explore a complex, hidden world that is operating inside of you right at this very second. A system so incredibly sophisticated, it literally rivals the infrastructure of any major metropolis.
Now, I know it's easy to think of blood as just, well, that simple red liquid that shows up when you scrape your knee. But have you ever actually thought of it as a crowded, bustling city? Because honestly, that's exactly what it is. It's a non-stop, highly active transportation network, a biological superhighway that literally keeps you moving.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the transport network.
So blood isn't just one homogeneous fluid, right? It's actually this completely integrated four-part team working flawlessly together. You've got plasma taking up the biggest chunk at 55%. Then red blood cells sitting at a really robust 44%, and that leaves these tiny but absolutely mighty slivers of less than 1% for both your white blood cells and your platelets.
To really wrap our heads around how this biological city operates, it helps to map out their roles with some analogies. Think of plasma as the flowing river. The red blood cells, those are your heavy-duty delivery trucks. The white blood cells act as your security guards, and the platelets are essentially this rapid response maintenance team. Keep those roles in the back of your mind as we navigate through the rest of this network.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, plasma, or as we're calling it, the yellow river of life.
You know, if you've ever donated blood plasma, you might have noticed something kind of surprising. It's not actually red at all. It's a yellow fluid. And this fluid acts as the vital river where everything else, all the cells, nutrients, hormones, just swims and travels. Honestly, without this specific medium, the whole transit system of our internal city would just completely shut down.
And get this, a staggering 90% of this plasma is just water. Just water. The other 10% is this super precise mix of essential salts and proteins. Actually, this huge water content is exactly why doctors are always nagging us to drink plenty of fluids. I mean, hydration is literally the lifeblood of this flowing river.
So what happens with the food you eat? Well, this river acts as a masterful solvent. It expertly dissolves nutritional stuff, like sugars and proteins, right into the fluid itself. And once it's all dissolved, the river just seamlessly floats those vital nutrients directly over to the organs that desperately need them for energy. It is incredibly efficient.
Let's transition over to Section 3, cells are trucks and guards.
Now, sharing this exact same biological highway are two very different populations doing very different jobs. On one hand, you've got the everyday delivery trucks, the red blood cells, handling the heavy lifting of routine supply. And on the other hand, you have the highly reactive security guards, the white blood cells. Completely different missions, but both are absolutely vital for your survival.
Let's check out those delivery trucks first. Red blood cells have this highly specialized, almost aerodynamic design. They're shaped kind of like a donut where the baker forgot to punch the hole all the way through, you know? And that unique hollow disc shape is crucial because it maximizes their surface area. That makes it perfect for their main route, which is picking up fresh oxygen from your lungs and ferrying it out to everywhere else in your body.
But how do they actually hold on to all that oxygen? Well, enter hemoglobin. Packed super densely inside those red blood cells, this iron-based substance is basically the secret ingredient. The iron is what gives blood its bright red color, for sure, but more importantly, it physically grabs onto those oxygen molecules like a magnet and binds them tight for the long haul.
Switching gears over to our security guards, the white blood cells have this really fascinating physical contrast. They're actually physically larger than the red blood cells, but there are far, far fewer of them. We're talking less than 1% of your total blood volume. But hey, do not let those low numbers fool you because these guys are heavily armed.
See, during peacetime, these guards are just casually patrolling the river. But the absolute second a germ, a virus, or bacteria enters your system, they trigger a massive alarm. They literally start multiplying, rapidly expanding their forces like this well-trained army getting ready for battle. And once they're mobilized, they relentlessly attack and hunt down those microbes to clear out the infection.
Which brings us to our final component, Section 4, platelets, the body's maintenance team.
What is so amazing about platelets is that they aren't even complete cells. Actually, they're just these very tiny cell fragments floating around in the plasma. Think of them as nature's biological duct tape. Despite being so tiny, they have one dedicated, ultra-urgent mission, patching up any structural damage so our river doesn't leak out.
Just think about this incredible action sequence that happens the moment you get something as simple as a paper cut.
Instantly, the network is breached, right? But within seconds, platelets rush in and gather right at the wound. They immediately start secreting these specialized clotting substances, weaving this rapid, sticky net right over the opening. This physical barrier completely stops the bleeding. I mean, it is rapid response biological engineering at its absolute finest.
Honestly, it is kind of hard to believe that this silent, non-stop teamwork is happening inside your veins right at this very second. From the flowing river of plasma and those billions of delivery trucks to the vigilant immune guards and a rapid response maintenance crew. It all just begs a super fascinating question. If our bodies have naturally perfected this flawless, self-repairing logistics network over millions of years, what could our own modern cities learn from the biology flowing just beneath our skin?